My name is Brooke. I operate Booking Brooke Photography out of Chilliwack here in BC. I do photo shoots all around the Fraser Valley, but I'm mostly situated here in Chilliwack. I grew up here in Chilliwack. I was born and raised. I've been here my whole 27 years. And not only do I live here, I spend a lot of time in Chilliwack too, attending our music events and theater and art galleries. I really have found Chilliwack to be my home and somewhere I want to spend the rest of my life and have my family be in too. My love for photography is really one of those "it found me" stories. I wasn't searching for photography at all. I was working in healthcare and had never anticipated having a new love pop up in my life. But I was very blessed to meet my fiance, Maddie, about 6 years ago. And at the time I had met her, she was an aspiring musician and she was looking for some photos to post on social media, promote her music. And we had sourced a photographer and hosted a photo shoot for her. When we got the gallery back, it wasn't the reaction we were anticipating getting. We found it really difficult looking back at the photos and feeling that this gallery didn't look or feel quite like how I knew her essence to be. And it was really difficult for me to watch her dip in confidence and sort of question who she was because she felt so misrepresented and didn't have any images that really resonated with her or her art. So naturally, being her partner, I wanted to fix the problem, and I borrowed my friend's camera and said, why don't I just take them myself? I know you, I know your story, and I think I can translate that for you. I chose to focus on portrait photography because I am a really social person by nature. I love people and I love talking to them and learning. So portrait photography is one of those subject materials where you're allowed that opportunity and also encouraged to connect with the person in front of the lens and have a new type of conversation that isn't just through words. It relies a lot on body language, visual cues. It just allows you to see another side of a person that sometimes direct conversation or words can't communicate to you. And I also really love that portrait photography is so collaborative. It is not just my art, it's ours. And it really depends upon bonding with that person to create a piece together that speaks to both of you. I think that's really unique to photographing people specifically. I didn't choose to pursue formal education in photography, mainly because I was worried that if I focused too much on settings and technique and how to operate a camera physically, I might lose my love for the art. And I really operate a lot of my galleries based on feeling and real-time adjustments and unique dynamics between the person I'm photographing and myself. It just allowed me a lot of freedom for trial and error. And there was lots of errors, but there were a lot of wins too. And being self-taught allowed me the opportunity to take those losses and wins with stride and then evolve them and reflect at my own kind of leisure. But I'd say where I struggled the most in learning photography was less about technique and more about confidence. I really found myself facing a lot of imposter syndrome, and admittedly, I still have to kind of quiet that voice inside that brings up those feelings of inadequacy and am I justified as a self-taught artist, and does my work have value against its competitors? I have a natural tendency to compare, and I find for me there is a fine line between inspiration and comparison. And I had to teach myself how to put aside all of those societal standards and norms I thought were set in stone and create my own narrative. What I love about photography specifically as a medium is that it is one of the few mediums where a lot of that art is being created live. So it really allows you to be present during creation, instead of doing a lot of post work later, which can be done. But a lot of my sets are designed to be live in the moment. A lot of my effects are live in the moment. And so I have real-time adjustments, and I have to think on my feet, use my environment where I am, and really connect with the person in front of me to create that moment instead of doing that later on. So I really like that it puts me right in a place. I am here now, exactly in this moment. The biggest thing I can recommend to any beginner photographer is just start. That can be the hardest one. It sounds simple. It is not that simple. I understand the desire to want to hide your portfolio and until it's better, until I know this technique, until I get this next backdrop, or I've learned every avenue of Photoshop, or I have this new camera. It can be very overwhelming. And when you're setting goals like that, it becomes really unobtainable to just put your work out there. And I promise when you look back, it's never embarrassing to watch your work grow. It's actually a great thing to look back and say you did develop and this is how you developed. It is much more embarrassing to have not tried to put that out and then never got to witness your own growth. That's such a beautiful part of being an artist, is the reflection piece. And if you don't ever put it out there to see, even for yourself, you're denying yourself that chance to reflect and look at all that you've overcome over the years as an individual and an artist. I would also say second, explore all avenues, try all types. I have done sports. I have been a student portrait photographer. I have done weddings and lifestyle and events and wildlife. I have tried it all. Some of it I did not love, and that's okay. It's okay to not like it. With that exploration comes more reflection. What material resonated with me? What lit me up? Follow that one, but explore them all just to allow yourself the chance to learn new techniques and find what really sticks. My last one, which leads into that, is collaborate. Collaboration has been a huge source of inspiration for me. I have got to meet many other artists who have allowed their insights, their talents, and that collaboration has created relationships with other artists. It has allowed me the opportunity to have my work promoted by them. And it's a lot of fun. Collaborating with other artists is so fun. There's no environment like a team of artists in one room together, just hive-minding and sharing space, throwing out ideas and just kind of seeing where the wind takes you. So absolutely try to collaborate with as many people as you can. That was my biggest and most rewarding piece of advice I ever received, and I have loved every collaboration I have been a part of. Local residency programs are so important, especially in the small communities like Chilliwack. We are growing, absolutely and undeniably, especially in our artistic community. But I think residency opportunities are important because it gives our artists something to aspire for. It keeps them local, and it gives them that momentum and support to pursue that passion right off the hop. And especially with a residency, it gives you connections, relations, and opportunities for mentors in your local city to keep you integrated within the community and ask all those burning questions and get your live feedback and advice that maybe otherwise is harder to find when you're a solo artist. My goal during my time here at the center would really be to amplify as many artistic voices as I can while I'm here. My main and primary focus is promoting the local artists that we have and giving them some visual media that they feel resonates with them and helps to tell a story they're already telling, but just gives them more materials to work with to help promote. In 5 years as a photographer, my dream is to be working full-time out of a shared studio space with my fiance, Maddie. We're both very passionate about helping our local artists in any way that we can. So Maddie is currently opening up an independent label titled No Label Studio, where we are hoping to help local musicians and artists of all types have merch and branding photography to put out on all of their social media platforms, accompany solo projects and albums. So I would really love to be helping out there as much as I can to help artists on their branding journey, especially because that can be very intimidating to tackle solo. So my main goal is to be putting all of my time and energy into helping other artists. I am just so incredibly honored to be hosted by the center. It's a location that I have grown up attending events at, have always felt very connected with and inspired by. And to be displayed and work alongside artists in my city is really important to me. So I'm really excited to watch how that unfolds and the connections that I will get to make and the artists I will get to learn about here in our city. It's such an inclusive and dynamic space here that I always feel so excited about stepping into. So getting to spend an entire year here just sounds a little bit like a dream and less like a job.